Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you guys doing today? We are going to take this brief moment, brief time, I don't know how to describe it, as a chance to talk about team composition in Destiny Esports and how teams of four. This is just, I want to make sure everyone knows that I'm going to be talking about teams of four primarily. How teams of four will comprise themselves in Destiny Esports related events. So, this is actually a really confusing topic and can even be a slightly complicated topic solely because team composition in a FPS game is there's really no such thing as team composition in most FPS games, really. Like, if you look at other FPS games that have esports, like Call of Duty, for instance, or Counter-Strike or Halo, you have your team composition is your objective player, your spawn anchor, and whoever else is playing around them. They're your map control style players. However, with Destiny Esports, you have, with Destiny, not just Destiny Esports, and I could be done talking about this video by the time we even get into a match. Like, seriously, can we, cue me into a game for everything holy? With Destiny Esports, not just Destiny Esports, with Destiny, there are a lot more things that go into it. You have super abilities, you have melees that, not just your standard melee, for instance. And you have grenades, all of which that are or have the ability to be very very effective and potentially game altering. So with that in mind, team comp in Destiny can be very challenging. That's a good word. I don't want to say difficult to talk about. It can be very challenging to talk about, considering there's not a whole lot, or not a lot of simplicity to a team composition that there is in other FPS games like Call of Duty, Halo, stuff like that. So first off, we are going to just talk about subclass-wise. You can branch everything subclass-wise down into, or everything that would be involved super grenade melee down into subclass-wise composition instead of individually going through each slot of melee grenade super, because why make this more complicated than I have to? So each team, and again, I am talking about teams of four here. Average. We're not gonna go with three. We're not gonna go with three, or we're not gonna go with two, or we're not gonna go with five or six. That's where I was going with that. We're not going to talk about how guns come into effect. We will talk a little bit about artifacts here. Just briefly touch it on one class, and that's really it. That is very briefly it. I'm going to have to edit that out. I'm probably going to end up editing that out just because, it's a solid 2-second quiet time. Either way, whatever. I actually had to kind of regather my thoughts for a second. Solely because I actually forgot the name of the artifact that I was going to talk about. However, primarily super-wise, because that's where we're going to go back into, you're going to see two roaming supers of something like Stormtrance Golden Gun, Stormtrance, what's the other one? Stormtrance Arcblade. Possibly you can consider you can consider, what's it called? Night Stalker, that's the name. You can consider Night Stalker as a roaming, more or less, and you're gonna have roaming supers solely for a space. Wow. For map control, you have your advantage on the map. You have full control when you have your roaming. When you have a golden gun who can lock down a sight line, or you have a storm trance who's just traveling the map, or that kind of thing. Where storm trance, where did that guy go? Never mind. I was about to say, or where you have a storm trance warlock who just melees from a mile away, but that didn't actually happen like I was expecting it to. But there's another thing that you did see. Had I actually placed that grenade properly, I have a full length. I have control of this full hallway here in front of me. Had I actually get this placed properly, instead of losing, an area there, like right now, I can. Never mind. I can't even try and pull it out to show you guys what I'm trying to get with here with the grenades. When you have your classes that have roaming supers, you can have the ability to. Golden Gun obviously is a bit different. Most classes that are made with the roaming style supers have a way where they can block down an entire area of the map with a grenade, or they're melee. It's the game with inside the game of how you're choosing these things, and that's something that some people do subconsciously. Other people, like myself, I do kind of sit and think about it when I am here trying to win games and I am trying to play to the best of my ability. It's a game within a game. Oh, hammers that's a good example of panic super there too. I wish I would have been able to show you. Hammers are another roaming super. You have the ability to walk around the map, control the map, and force the opponent to do what you want them to do. You will have you'll have two roaming supers, as I have previously stated, and you will have two panic supers. There are really only two panic supers in the game. That is Fist of Havoc and Nova Bomb. You won't really see any Defender Titans, I don't think. There is the exception with the Defender Titan. You will see a Defender Titan in the event of, let's see, I would probably have to say, yeah, there's only one way you'll see a Defender Titan, and that is when they are running the artifact that gives you two grenades, two supers, or not two supers, two grenades and two melees. These guys will most likely end up running. Oh, hey, that's what I was actually trying to get to show you. Look, I just have map control. I have full map control with this super. I'm not even running proper perks to give me a better chance at controlling the map. But with certain supers, you gain full map control, like I just showed there. That did turn my game around from what would probably end up being a point horrific KD to a point not much better KD. Just, yeah. You're going to have two roaming supers. Two roaming supers give you map control. There's not a lot to say on panic supers other than panic supers are there. Panic supers are there solely to make sure you can have just a surefire kill almost. That's kind of like having a truth. You carry truth because you need a guaranteed way to get a kill. Yeah. Titans have the best panic super with Fist of Havoc. They gain extra survivability. There isn't a whole lot you'll see too much. You're gonna see two panic supers. You may occasionally see something along the lines of a three roam and one panic. Team comp is it's gonna be a mix of neutral game. Excuse me again. Mix of neutral game and a mix of map control. I'm doing so terrible right now today, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm having a rough time trying to think of words. I have an article up on the Pure Vendetta Esports webpage that will give you a much better idea of what was going inside my mind today with this video. It's really Panic Super. There it is. Another thing you get with a Panic Super, you get a very quick way to shut down a roaming super. Now, granted, again, you will not see too many panics, or not too many Panic Supers. You will not see too many varieties of the roaming super. You will see a Storm Trance. I'm willing to guarantee Storm Trance will be there the entirety. Like, Storm Trance will be there. Storm Trance is going to be the only guaranteed super, in my opinion. You can swap out Golden Gun for hammers. You have the ability to control long lines of sight. However, I personally would prefer Golden Gun. Golden Gun, you have the ability to control full sight lines. You can lock down an entire lane. You just have 3 shots to do it. Hammers, you'll see a Storm Trance hammer combo have the full roam effect where you can then pinch towards something or push away from an objective. Say you're playing Rift, you want to push out from this Rift spawn point towards the opposing Rift goal or whatever they call that. You want to push the spark away from the Rift or push the enemy away from the spark towards the outsides of the map, so your Rift runner or your Spark runner has the clearest path to the Rift. You can see that with you see that with Storm Trance hammers. You can see that with Storm Trance Arc Blade. Your Panic Supers will be once you get them to, you have that last, one person you have that has their Nova Bomb or their Fist of Havoc clears off right there. Again, as I have previously stated, you will not see too many of the Defender Titan. You may see a few Night Stalkers, but again, your Night Stalker has a bit more of a map control. However, I do think Night Stalker will be better and more commonly seen if we see Night Stalker with with the artifact that gives you 2 melee, 2 grenade. Same with Defender Titan. Thank you all for watching this video. Go check out the article that I wrote on the Pure Vendetta Esports webpage. I will be putting a link in the description. Thank you all for watching. You guys have a wonderful evening, day, whatever time you're watching this. Peace out and stay classy, YouTube.